What's going on, my soccer parents? It's your boy Bali over here with Soccer Parent Life. Just checking in here. I want to review a video that I saw a while ago and kind of give you my feedback on this. I just thought it was a fascinating video. An aspect of it probably might not be everyone's favorite comment that I'm going to make, but let's go ahead and check it out real quick. All right, so it's by this
I think
lady.
kids' sports are ruining families, marriages, and kids themselves. Calm down. I can already feel the heat coming through the phone. You don't like that. I get it. Um, my son was in two sports in the spring, and we had something every single night of the week in terms of a practice. And then we had a practice or a game, and then we had games on the weekends as well. And we were exhausted. Everybody was exhausted. I never saw my husband. We never had actual time to connect. We never had any good, intimate, connected family time. Everybody was tired. We were at each other's throats. We were just going and going and going and going, and I won't do it. I won't do it. I know that kids' sports, recreational sports, team sports are very important. I know there's a lot of lessons that come out of that. I played sports when I was a kid. Um, but this has gotten insane.
All right, so let me pause it here so I can kind of share with this. I mean, it's a fair point. It's a big commitment when you're sitting here and you're doing all of this for your child, especially with her. She's talking about a child playing multiple sports. Um, I think when I listen to this, I think what I'm hearing it might be a little bit different than maybe what she intended or what you may perceive. But what I'm hearing, it sounds like it's someone that says, this is what we're supposed to be doing. This is what's expected of us for our kids to play sports. I get the value, but I'm refusing to do what I believe to be an expectation. That's what I'm hearing. So it's kind of like a claim saying this is what we're supposed to do because this is what's perceived that a good parent does, and this is what's happening as a result. And I'm no longer wanting to do this. That's what I'm hearing. I'm not sure what you guys interpret, but that's what I'm interpreting.
My kids are 6 and 9. And at this level of competition, of expectation that we have of kids at this age, I think it's detrimental. I think it's harming more than it's helping. And
And here, dude, she's spot on here that we're doing too much. So it's Abby Eckel on Instagram to give her a shout out here because this is her video from, it's almost like 6 months ago. I'm not good at math, so I don't know what 22 weeks is, man. it's been it's a while. And she's on point here. I do believe that we do cause more harm than good when we overdo it. With some of these children that are in the single digit years, we're doing too much. I'm 100% on board here. I just think we look at it differently uh, as far as how we contribute in our decision making. So let's continue.
sure as shit don't think it's helping marriages, which are already struggling. Marriages aren't like on the up and up. I don't know if you know this, but like half of them end in divorce. And I don't think burning yourselves to the ground, running kids around every single night and every single weekend is the answer.
All right. This is the point. I'll probably piss off a lot of people with what I'm gonna say, but are we really blaming divorce on youth sport? Are we really blaming divorce on youth sport? I I think I think bringing this up right here is crazy. The reason why I think it's crazy, respectfully crazy, or I'll say that because I know sometimes people get offended, but it is what it is. Um, I think this is crazy because there's so many other things that contribute to divorce that to add this to it is crazy to me. Um, in this scenario, when you're dividing and conquering, I actually disagree with it. And for me, at least in my family, when we would do things differently and we would divide and conquer, I think it brought us closer together because one thing that really tied my wife and I together is the fact that we love our kids and we have no problem putting them at a very high priority in our life. So when we're sitting here saying um, that we're both on point with that, I think what's missing here is maybe a conversation to see what the other parent thinks because it's there's nothing wrong if you are of the belief that your marriage comes first and your kids are secondary. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a common belief. My wife and I share the belief that our kids are equal to the importance of our relation, and sometimes we put them first. So because we have that relation and that understanding that we value that together, when we do this together, it actually brings us closer in our situation. So what she's saying may be true in her situation and true for some relationships, but it's not an over, like a true thing for everyone. I think that finances, which you can make an argument to say that the cost of the travel and the sports contributes to the financial strain that then is a big problem in marriages, but that would be like a byproduct, like a secondary kind of impact, not direct. I think finances, we make way worse decisions. Like, sometimes we're driving vehicles that, this includes me, by the way. Sometimes we're driving vehicles that they're not in our tax bracket, and we're buying stuff we shouldn't do. And that includes me. I'm very guilty of it. It's not until recent that I started not doing that. But as far as infidelity, for example, that's a huge contributor. To sit here and say that this is a contributing factor to divorces is crazy to me. So I have to respectfully disagree, Abby, with this one. Marriages are not on the up and up for many reasons. I would not put youth sports anywhere close to that because the solution is simple. As a mother and a father, as a husband and a wife, we make the decisions. Just like you're sitting here saying, I will not do it. Understandable. But you can also choose for your child not to have to play two sports. You can also make a situation where maybe they play the same sport together and you guys mandate that you guys do certain things like, hey, let's compromise here, so that we can put equal value on our time as a family and the sport. So I think what I'm seeing here and what I'm hearing is bad decision making on your guys' part, and I say that respectfully, not as a hey, I have it all figured out. Please don't interpret it that way. I think the problem is in the decision making of the adults in the household. And I only say that as someone that has made those mistakes and look back on it and say, well, this is where I messed up and this is what I did wrong. So I respectfully have to say that it's not the youth sports; it's the way that you guys are making decisions as adults within your household, and then you're putting it out there. And people that share this with you maybe are making the same mistake. So that doesn't make it any less real. It doesn't make it any less important as you're describing. But I would challenge you to look at yourselves first before we blame a sport or the children. So that's what I would have to say on that.
I think kids' sports are ruining families, marriages, and kids
Yep, that's
themselves.
all she had to say.
Calm down. I can already.
All right, so let's go back over here. So, all right, so hopefully I wasn't too harsh on Abby over here. She's very brave to put that out there and just be raw about it. I think, well, when you start doing stuff like this online, you kind of gotta expect the kickback. I'm sure that this could be a video that nobody pays attention to because sometimes that happens, and I don't really have a following on YouTube, so maybe nobody sees this, so I won't hear anything. But if this ever gets any kind of viewership, this thing has 43,545 likes as of today. So I'm sure I'll get ripped apart too, for my opinion. So feel free. I put this out there understanding that. So feel free to share maybe what you think. Maybe you disagree with me, you agree more with her. Maybe you have an entirely different view. But that's just my perspective, guys. Feel free to chime in to the next one.